Hi, it's Cara here, saying Mum in the Run, and I'm about to post what I think is probably my most controversial video to date. Today I'm going to talk about Therians. Now, for most people in the world, you will never have heard of this, you won't know what it is, you will have no concept, but a Therian is basically a person that feels they have been born in the wrong body, not in a transgender way, but in an animal way. So for instance, my daughter is a Therian. She feels that in past lives she has been animals, and in this reincarnation she has been born into a human body, which is the wrong body. Okay, now I know that's mind blowing. I know it's not a concept that a lot of people are going to understand or accept. You hear the worst stories in the newspapers about kids jumping about in fursuits, getting their own parts of the school to be in the grass and things like that. My daughter gets no specialist provision in that way. However, she does genuinely believe this. So I am actually going to post a video from another creator after this one. It really beautifully actually explains what a Therian is. It's not a furry. Furries are different. Furries are more wearing the kind of mascot outfits, doing conventions, things like that. Therians wear masks, tails, and they do quadrobics, which is kind of moving about like animals. They don't do this every minute of the day. That's how I'll explain that as well. So please watch that video and then come back and watch the rest of this one. Or watch this all the way through and then watch the video, whichever works for you. But I would love it if you would watch both videos because it does explain. Sorry, I'm just looking at the picture in the background. So apt right now for this conversation. Yeah, it's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Okay, so my experience with Therianism. For a few years now, Faith has identified as a cat. For quite a few years now, actually, she's identified as a cat. So we bought a cat really as almost like a therapy pet. And he's not my favourite thing just now because he's had us up since 10 to 5 this morning. But yeah, so we've got a wonderful cat, family pet. We got the cat almost 3 years ago, and that was part of of helping Faith feel belonging if you like. So so she started identifying as a cat. So what she does is she paints masks and things, really cute things that helps her be artistic. She paints masks, she wears tails, she does these quadrobics I was telling you about. So it's basically kind of jumping about, almost like squats if you like, but kind of jumping about like burpees or and she's not doing anybody any harm. She's not, but we're not advocating for separate toilets for her or for her to wear her masks at school. Isn't maybe not necessarily something that we're hoping she grows out of it. But we have to be really careful about Faith. So Faith's got pathological demand avoidance. Obviously she's autistic as well, as we've talked about. She cut my dad out of her life for a couple of months because my dad said something like, "Oh, don't be ridiculous," or something like that, in relation to her being a Therian. It gives her peace. It gives her a sense of belonging. There's actually quite a few little kids in the area that identify as Therians as well. She gets bullied a lot because of her autism, because of her inability to relate on a social level with people. So if this can bring her joy, like if this little thing can bring her joy, with Faith's autism, she's already kind of relating at a younger level anyway. I would put her probably about 8 years old. She's 11, and I'd probably put about 8 years old, and is playing. Is it such a crime? I get quite upset when people are so aggressive about their distaste for this. Now, I think probably some of the SEND parents will relate to this a bit more than maybe your neurotypical parents. But again, I don't want to judge people, so everyone can be open-minded or closed-minded, or however, it is something that brings her joy. like I say, she gets bullied anyway, and she's also been bullied for being a Therian. I know people are going to say, well, why don't you protect her? Why don't you stop her from being a Therian? Have you tried to stop her pathological demand avoidance child from anything? It's really not easy. It's a really, really difficult profile in autism. But this brings her happiness, this brings her joy, it brings her a sense of belonging. She's found community, she's found friends. Kids are cruel. Kids are cruel anyway. Kids are cruel to anyone that marks out as different. Like I said, she was already receiving bullying and being left out and everything for being autistic and being different. But now, like, kids have run their bikes into her for no reason. They've pulled her tail off. Yesterday, they destroyed a mask, but with her permission, apparently. So yeah, it's just accepting people, please. Can we just accept people for who they are? Like I said, I'm hoping this is something that she'll grow out of. I really am. I think her life is already difficult enough as it is without adding something else to it. But am I going to stop her for doing something that brings her that little bit of joy? No, I'm really not. I'm really not. I love her so much, and I'm not going to break her spirit. I wonder what you all think. Take care. Hi, just popping back on as I finish this video to say that I know that Therians will possibly be upset with me for saying that I hope that Faith grows out of this and this is just a phase. I want her life to be easier. I really want her life to be easier, and I really don't mean to offend anyone in their belief system. But I just wanted to add that in, that I genuinely do hope that it's something, but as a Therian will say, it's not something you grow out of, it's something you are. But just thought I'd add that in.